Welcome into the Hampton Roads market update for January 2023. I'm your host, Craig Houston. I'm a local realtor in the community, and it's always important to deal with an agent who knows and has their finger on the pulse of what's going on in the market. Remember, these indicators that we're going to talk about today are lagging indicators. The market is always evolving and shifting in so many ways, and I'm going to cover a few of those at the end of this video. So that's why it's important for you to stay all the way to the end, so that way that you can understand where we're currently sitting at from my perspective in February of 2023. Let's jump directly into the video. But before we do that, remember, you can always get your free consultation, whether you're a home buyer or seller in this market in Hampton Roads with me anytime today by using my link down below to get scheduled your strategic consultation with me today. Let's jump right into it. So let's start over on the peninsula side of the market, okay? Well, we're going to talk about two of the major cities in Hampton Roads that we like to cover, which is Hampton and Newport News. So if you have questions about these communities, we're going to start there first, and then we're going to work our way over to the south side of what's going on in that market as well. So let's start over in Hampton, where you'll see that the medium sales price over in Hampton was 265,000 median sales price, which means that's about 128 units sold, and that's an increase year over year to 17.8% in median sales price. Now, when you're looking at Newport News, the other city over on the peninsula side, you're going to see that January median sales price came in about 242,400. They sold about 150 units over there, and that is a 1% increase year over year. Now, in the peninsula as well, though, the median sales price has increased year over year from January to January 7.69%, which means that new median sales price over the whole peninsula is about $280,000. Okay, so comment down below. Are you surprised by the increase in Hampton, or are you increased by the overall increase across the peninsula and Hampton Roads altogether? Now, let's talk about the south side here. The south side, we're going to start with the negative. So we're going to start with Suffolk. Suffolk is a community that we've seen on the rise, and it's the biggest community in the 757 area code. And it's seen a drop of about 7.18% in median sales price, which it declined to $326,740 at this point in time. Okay, so you will see that 98 units were sold, which is a decline of about 41% as well too in the month of January from year over year from 2022. Now, let's talk about Portsmouth. Remember, Portsmouth is the #1 city ranked by Realtor.com for actually seeing the biggest boom in home buying for relocation in the communities that's up for it, in the top 10 to be exact. Okay, #1 in the top 10. But we've seen Portsmouth recorded a median sale price of about $236,500, which is a year over year increase of about 10% on 120 units sold. Why is that so important? Well, we know that you can now find homes in Portsmouth that's adjacent and come as comparable to the homes in Norfolk, in Virginia Beach, and in Chesapeake, but for the lower price point, because the community is still under development, and Portsmouth is starting to do a lot of redevelopment opportunities out there, and they're bringing in a lot more first-time home buyers, and we're now starting to see this community increase in home price sales, and what we're also seeing that median sale price continue to increase over time as well too. Now, when it talks about Virginia Beach may have seen its units decrease by 39% in units sold, but it still eked out a 1.85% price increase up to 330,000 price point, where we've seen 351 units sold in the last month. Okay, so when you look at Chesapeake as well, the median sales price is at $340,000 on about 238 units sold. And that is a slight increase, moving it up to about 1.2% year over year. Now, when you're looking at Norfolk, we're going to see a $265,000 median sales price with about 167 units sold last month. And that is a small increase of about 0.38% higher than what we saw in January 2022. Now, why is these numbers important to take in consideration? Because there are questions out there. How long is interest rates going to stay high? Are they ever going to go back down to a level that's respectable enough for me to actually purchase? These are questions that people ask all the time. But I want people to understand, and this is why it's important to have an agent who has the pulse of the market, is that whether interest rate goes down, whether interest rate goes up, home prices are stabilizing and not really dropping, especially in Hampton Roads. And this is still going to be a competitive market regardless. And when we're starting to see interest rates do decrease at some point in time, typically I imagine they're going to be around 5.2 to 4.7, which you're going to see eventually. But as that happens, if the interest rates continue to decrease, that means there's more competition coming into the market. Now we're already in February seeing competition in certain price points and in certain communities that's already taking place. And with these communities going through these competition barriers that we're seeing now, you can only imagine how rampant it will get if interest rates do continue to come down. So you got to understand where your position is in the market, whether you're a seller or whether you're a buyer. And this is why I'm a fan of talking on free consultations with clients to let them know, hey, this is where you need to be strategically thinking about as you're making your next move, whether that's to sell or whether that's to purchase. And this is why it's important to use that link down below to book on my calendar today, so that way that you can get your opportunity to get your strategic consult together and find out whether you're 1 to 3 months away or whether you're 6 to 12 months away from your next purchase or sale, to understand what the market may look like for you and how you need to already be in the driver's seat to making your decisions in life. Stay tuned for more content like this on the Hampton Roads Market Updates. I'm your host, Craig, a local realtor in the community, and I'll be back with more. Talk to you soon.